Hi lovies, and welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Malinda's channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos and also educate you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much. All right, lovelies, let's dive into this video. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys where this Asian American woman is all out to call out people that is often talking about how black people are the colonizers, they are the people, they are the problems, they are the reason why the genocide and all of that is happening. And she was actually making a lot of sense, and I decided to actually put her stitches up here, and I'm just gonna roll it. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and do not forget that we don't support any form of bullying, harassment or whatsoever. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright lovelies, let's dive into it.
I don't want to speak directly on the situation happening right now on this app too much because I am not black and I am not Palestinian. So I'm just going to keep quiet on the specifics and repost other folks that know more than me and are directly affected. But what I will say is this reminds me of the way the Stop Asian Hate movement totally lost steam and credibility because there was anti-blackness from the start. I'm Asian American, and I was obviously against the huge wave of anti-Asian hate crimes that happened in 2021 as a response to racist anti-Asian COVID conspiracies. I had family members and friends who were harassed and assaulted. I was scared to go out, and the Atlanta spa shootings broke me in a way that fundamentally changed me. I felt so much grief and pain with my community, and of course I agreed with the spirit of Stop Asian Hate. And I also noticed a lot of anti-blackness within that movement from the very start. The strain of anti-blackness that pissed me off the most was coming from Asian Americans who were being politically activated by this moment for the first time. They would say things like, "Why doesn't anyone care about us like they care about black people?" Or, "Why don't black people care about our suffering?" First of all, this is not black people's fault. So why the fuck are they even being mentioned right now? And to say that black people don't care about the suffering of non-black POC is just so historically untrue. Black American activists are literally in solidarity with every other POC liberation movement. We're the ones not in solidarity with them. We're the ones that cannot even recognize the black people within our own communities. We're the ones who can't even register the pain of others until we feel the blunt force of oppression on our own necks. It's really cruel and fucked up and anti-black to blame black Americans for not recognizing our struggles and our pain when we offer nothing in return. It's not up to black people to uplift other communities. And yet they always are the first people outside of affected communities to show solidarity when shit happens. And they show real solidarity with us. They come through and show full support. They center the voices of the most affected. And they don't say shit about how anti-black our communities have been right up until and through whatever collective tragedy we're experiencing. Black activists don't say anything to jeopardize the momentum of a liberation movement because they know what real solidarity means. But what I saw happen with the Stop Asian Hate movement and what I've seen happen with other non-black POC movements is the moment that movement really starts to make some headway against the true oppressors, the anti-blackness comes out again. Black activists are the first allies that come to other people of color's aid, and they're the first ones to be tossed aside. And it's just really fucked up.
With any other palm supremacy tactic, they don't really value. Do you see what I'm saying? They don't really value anything from people of not even people of color, but black people specifically. They don't value anything from black people specifically. So that's really where a lot of this comes from. It's like, oh well, I like all the support that I'm getting from everyone else, but I really don't care for the support I'm getting from black people. And so if black people want to critique or help my movement, then I'm doing everything, or I'm willing to throw them under the bus. You know what I'm saying? So that's just really what ends up happening, is that we end up getting thrown under the bus, and every movement, because our critiques, our opinions, our our help in general is not the help that any other person of color wanted, because they see it as a devaluation of their movement. Like, their movement now has inherently less value because black people stood beside them. Do you see what I'm saying? Which is incredibly wild and incredibly anti-black. It's rampant. You know what I'm saying? It is rampant, and in every community. And the wild part is that no one will make any headway in any type of dismantling of colonial structure until they see that it's them too. You know what I'm saying? They jump on the bandwagon when there's harm, right? You know, jump on the people of color bandwagon when there's harm, but when there's nothing going on, they will happily sit right next to colonialism any day. You know what I'm saying?
When Black Americans responded to being labeled as colonizers along with the rest of Americans, I sat back and I waited. I wanted anything that may have been miscommunicated or misconstrued to be cleared up, to be elaborated on. And since that video, you've stated that you don't understand the disconnect, and that's exactly the point. There's a disconnect because African Americans share a lived experience here that is complex and unique in of itself. This system is quite literally reliant on our oppression to function. So when others speak on it and blame us for the oppression that we are in, as well as you, it's very triggering. Not because of something we don't want to hear or admit, but because the circumstances that we have been forced under are always blamed on us. And then we are called to fix problems that we did not create. Those on the outside regularly ignore historical context and how that plays a role in human behavior. You mentioned that we make up 13% of the population, but 30% of military personnel. Did you ask why? Did it occur that this could be because of limited or denied opportunities? A choice made out of duress to escape living conditions that our government forced many of my people in? Or could it be a result of an oppressive system that preys on young and vulnerable Black children? You did what they do to us all the time. You threw a statistic that is a reflection of our oppression in our face without understanding why, and then blamed us for it. People often simplify our trauma and obstacles to the point that the solution is made to sound easy. That way, if we object or present valid concerns, you can just paint us as being lazy or selfish. Just pull yourself up from the bootstraps. Just get a job. Just start a revolution. It's never a question. It's always expected of us to be at the forefront and risk the rights that we just got. We are only 2 generations removed from Jim Crow. 2 generations. And we are being shamed for wanting to avoid a Jim Crow America where extremists run free, go unpunished, where there is widespread legalized discrimination again, only this time under a possible dictator. I am still failing to understand how that version of America will be of any use to anyone.
Yeah, let me back her up on that because she has a great point. I think a lot of people forget or just don't even care to recognize that the Black community has to soft parent literally every other community. You know, when you're a little kid and you push down a little kid, and so your mom decides to lightly push you, and then you're like, oh my God, why would you do that? Yeah, that's genuinely almost every other race that isn't like Black people. Now, hold on before you get your panties in a twist, because once again, I'm gentle parenting you. Y'all don't recognize pain until you feel it. All you guys don't recognize pain until it is put on your neck. Exactly what she was saying. You guys don't recognize that people are hurt until you're hurt. You guys don't have empathy. You don't know what empathy looks like for the Black community, whether it's African American or it's Black American, whether it's just African, whether it's just Black people in general. Y'all don't know what it looks like to have empathy. The only time you guys do start to have empathy is when you, for that 2 seconds, feel like you're left out of a crowd, left out of a situation. And that's how you guys usually make your comparisons on why you guys have your quote solidarity. The amount of times that I will hear people saying, oh yeah, I was the only white kid in a Black community and that's how I figured out that like racism's like bad. Bitch, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Or like, Oh, I was bullied when I was school, so I understand what it feels like to be ostracized. Like, please. Please. If that is your level of empathy, I don't want it. Y'all continue to want the Black community to be so overly uplifting and helpful in every other situation. You guys take our culture, you take our people, you ridicule us, you degrade us, you sexualize us, you abuse us, you use us, you gaslight us, and then come back around and ask us for help on everything, whether it's your hair, whether it's your food, whether it's your culture, whether it's your music, whether it's the fact that you now feel like you are the Black people of your community. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how the only time people actually are asking for help is when they feel like they are now the Black people of the community. Hence phrases like the black sheep. It's not effing rocket science, and then you guys get upset for why we continue to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I don't necessarily want to put too much effort into it, because we shouldn't have to anymore. Because every time we try to do anything, whether it's for us or for anybody else, there's always an issue. Like, y'all would be nothing without us, and then y'all hate the fact that you are nothing without us. And you always come towards the Black community when you need help. It's always the Black community. Oh, why doesn't the Black community want to help? Oh, why doesn't the Black community want to? Oh, Black women, I want to talk to you specifically. Oh, Black men, you guys need to do. Shut up, please. Just shut the fuck up. Leave us the fuck alone. When are y'all gonna leave us alone? I am so sick and tired. I can't exist. I can't do shit without it being a problem. Without it being a motherfucking problem. If I'm sporting, that's too motherfucking. If I'm breathing, obviously I'm breathing in a way that needs to now be appropriated, apparently. And then also, if I'm breathing, apparently that means I need to get my head ripped off and lynched. We are tired. Leave us alone and leave us the fuck out of it.
Hatred for Black people is not an actual hatred for Black people. What did Black people do to be hated by the entire world? That's why I advocate on my page, you are wasting your energy trying to change the perception of Black people. What did you do to these people in the first place? Whose people did we genocide? Whose country did we colonize? Whose nation did we burn down? The hatred for Black people, internally and externally, comes from a binary understanding of humanity. And you want to know how I know this is true? Because most people who hate Black people don't even know any Black people. It's not that they hate Black people, it's that they love white people and whiteness. And because Black people and white people are opposites, the global admiration and worship that whiteness receives, by contraindication, what do you think is implied onto Black people? Black people. Please tell me, how could anybody be the opposite of anybody else? What this country will tell you is that because this person likes apples and this person likes bananas, these two people exist as opposites. And that single rhetoric is what is the fuel for all of our conflict and our dehumanization. And it's the third video I done talked about this. Look closely, you will see it everywhere around you. Good, bad, anti, pro, Republican, Democrat, Black, white, man, woman. The binaries that are implied onto the consciousness of American people do not leave room for critical thinking or nuance. They play on your emotions and get you to quickly identify with an ally or enemy. Now, going back to the point of my video, that alone is the fuel for the anti-Blackness that we see across the world. As long as whiteness as a concept exists, as long as whiteness is aligned with power, as long as whiteness is aligned with beauty, as long as whiteness is aligned with comfort, as long as we think African people are Black before they are African, as long as we think Haitian people are Black before they are African, as long as we think American African people are Black before they are African, everything implied onto whiteness, you will receive the opposite of. As a human being, as a breathing, functional, sentient human being, you do not exist as opposites, counterparts, or a contradiction of any other human being, group, or community on this planet. The point is not to remove the beautiful history and culture that has been built upon our circumstances of being Black in this world. But we must decentralize these binaries in our abundant human existence, because they do not represent us, any of us. Peace out.
Like, seriously, lovelies, I totally understand the first girl that I stitched her video. Like, I like the fact at which, that some people see the truth. There are a lot of people that see the truth, they see the way at which especially Black Americans have, sacrificed, have stand up for people, have done so many things to actually see that other people, have whatever thing that they, actually deserve. But when it's in turn, their own time to actually come out and, okay, ask people for help, or maybe speak their mind, or maybe want to do something that will, for the very first time, benefit them, a lot of people have, problem with that. Now, the second lady that actually stitched her video was talking about how these people are actually, it's not as if they are angry with what has been happening to them. It's not as if that they are, that they are so sorry because of what has been happening to them, or maybe they are angry with Black people because they feel that they are not supporting them. They are actually angry with the fact that this same thing is happening to them and not happening to Black people. And for her to say that, for her to even write it, it makes a little sense. Because I don't see the reason why a particular group of people have been, standing with you, I know the way at which a lot of Black creators, most especially, I'll talk about the one I know. Most of them if you go to their platform during the course of the Palestinian saga, they were all, flying the flags, defending. Like, a lot of people even lost it. They lost so many things because they had defended this, set of people. A lot of people have to go, even a lot of people lost friendship. They lost loved ones. They lost, support. Most people, was unfollowed, and they actually, put it up there. Example of these people is Tabitha, the woman that's a Palestinian woman that was actually based in UK. She's been dragging her all over her platform because she said that she was gonna, withdraw from any donation that she has ever, and she will just direct the donation to, Congo. She's been dragging this lady, but this lady, right from the first time of power and all of that, if you see the way at which she advocated. This is the one I know. Like, there are about 6 people that I know, that turned their platform to, prop her. And after all this, why? After all the advocacy, after all the, they decided that, okay, they're not supporting us. They are not I don't get it. Is it until when they decide to shed that's when you will know that they supporting you guys? But these people are the same people from day one that are even donating. And they forgot to donate about Congo, but they're donating. This is why, majority of Palestinian people, with the cause of what is happening both in Paul and in Congo, why is it that they are still not posting about the Congo? Because they feel that they are not supposed to be in such predicament. That kind of predicament is meant for a particular set of people. It's meant for a particular set of people to undergo, not people like them. Like, seriously, love this. For an Asian person to actually acknowledge this, to actually come out here and speak her mind, to actually make people understand that the people in which you guys are, calling out, talking about that they are the problems, are actually not the problems. They don't even know what is it that they want Black people to actually do in this situation. That now they're just trying to say that Black people are the colonizers. I don't get how the oppressed will be the colonized. How is it even possible? How is it possible of this? I don't get. These people are also trying to survive. Even in the level of trying to survive, they are still using the little one that they have to support you guys. But you guys are still denying it. You guys are still expecting more. Like, I don't understand how many of the Palestinian people posted about Sunni Mercy. How many of them posted about what has been happening, about the injustice, about, like, everyone is suffering one way or the other. But it's just that, it was as if you guys all were like, that is what people just need to, even with their, in the level of their own suffering, they still came out there to do something. But no, you guys still want to be inside. You people still don't want to appreciate. But for the very first time, just because one, black lady mentioned that maybe she's just thinking to weigh the two evil, to see the lesser evil person. No, all of a sudden, you guys remember that black people are actually the problems. Everybody's talking about black people. Black people do not support. Black people are colonizers. Like, oh my goodness, how? How is it possible? Do you know what it means to be, black? Like, do you know how you've been treated? Like, seriously? But even in the position that they find themselves, they still find a way to still help other POC people. You're talking about solidarity. But these are the people that will give up all to make sure that you are okay. But when it's time for them to feel, okay, people need to help us as well. No, nobody. You guys are Mark Taxi. You can actually sort yourselves out. Like, people still see black people as, like, I would not even blame. Oh, after all, they are actually the chosen people. They are the chosen people of God. They are magicians. Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So please subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. Like this video, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes. So please subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. Like, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.